Governments across the UK are advised by the National Screening Committee. This is a complex area, and there are arguments for and against. And if it were straightforward, then the National Screening Committee would have recommended to government that we introduced population-based screening. They've come to the assessment, in their expert view and opinion, that the evidence at this moment in time does not support population-based screening. Their advice at this point in time is that it does not support pre-participation screening for athletes. Their advice at this time is that it does support targeted screening and follow-up of affected family members. And if the National Screening Committee changes their view on the basis of more evidence, then we will introduce population-based screening.
I believe that the argument against screening is purely cost-effective, it's financial. The National Screening Committee does not promote screening in any way and does not recommend it. They feel that many thousands of individuals would have to be screened to identify 2 or 3 individuals with either hypertrophic cardiomyopathy or Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, and they believe that even if we did take action such as preventing these individuals from playing sport, some people may still die.
The truth of the matter is, at this point in time, we don't have a good test. We don't have good evidence that even if we did have a good test, that intervening, offering treatment would affect the course.
Sudden cardiac death is unexpected death from a heart problem occurring within 6 to 12 hours of perceived normal health. It is due to a number of conditions. As I said, heart muscle diseases, electrical faults of the heart, even problems with the valves or the blood supply of the heart. The symptoms, however, that occur as a result of these conditions are only limited to chest pain, breathlessness, palpitation, or blackouts. It is true to say that the investigations required to diagnose all of these conditions are numerous, and I would not expect a GP to know a lot about these conditions because they're rare. The most important thing that a GP should be aware of is 1, the symptoms that occur as a result of these conditions, and secondly, that these conditions run in families. So if a young person approaches a GP with these symptoms or a family history of heart problems, then that individual should be referred to a cardiac expert.
We had a full-day workshop where we had presentations from a range of experts. We had a very constructive discussion around screening, either targeted or population-based, services to affected families, and how those could be improved.
The workshop involved several talks by ministers talking about the negative aspects of screening and the fact that it did not make financial sense. My job was to try to convince people in Northern Ireland that this type of screening was really practical in people aged between 14 to 35, and that it had been conducted very successfully by the charitable organisation Cardiac Risk in the Young, who've screened 3,000 individuals to date and identified several individuals with potentially life-threatening disorders. I believe it's the government's responsibility to ensure that individuals in primary care, that is the GPs, are fully informed about conditions that cause sudden cardiac death and their manifestations. It's also important that GPs are aware who they should be referring these individuals to and which cardiologist or cardiologists have expertise in these conditions.
I would dig 1,000 holes to lay next to you. I would dig 1,000 more if I needed to. I look around the grave for an escape route of old routines. There doesn't seem to be any other way. 'Cause I've started falling apart, I'm not savoring life. I've forgotten how good it could be. to feel alive. Sounds you won't feel as low as you feel right now. At least that's what I've been told by everyone. I whisper empty sounds in your ear and hope that you won't let go. Take the pieces and build them skyward, 'cause I've started falling apart. I'm not savoring life. I've forgotten how good it could be to feel alive. I've started falling apart. I'm not savoring life. Take the pieces and build them skyward. I've forgotten how good it could be to feel alive. Take the pieces and build them skywards. I've started falling apart. I'm not savoring life. Take the pieces and build them skyward. I've forgotten how good it could be to feel alive. Take the pieces and build them skywards. Take the pieces and build them skywards. And take the pieces and build them skywards. And take the pieces and build them up to the sky.
After Aaron died, I found it difficult to get involved with his friends, and I feel that was part of my grieving, and it's something I regret, because all them young guys do fundraising every year for Cry in honour of Aaron, and meet up every year on his anniversary and have a golf game and go out and celebrate Aaron's life. And we find that as a family very comforting. They're very, very special young people, and they will always be in our hearts. We get up every day, we think about Aaron every single day, and we pray to Aaron, we try and talk to him, and he's part of our lives, and that's the way it will be until the day we die. But as far as Anne and myself are concerned, it's Aaron is our bond, and Aaron is our life, and will continue to be that. There's no after Aaron.
I hope you had the time of your life.